Welcome to City TV. I'm Roy Mims, City Councilman. I've had the pleasure of serving you for the last 6 years, and I'm still be serving for a couple more. But I currently hold another title. The mayor likes us to do or encourages us to sit on other boards, and I'm the current youth director for the Georgia Bass Federation Nation. I have the pleasure of hosting a couple young men, young anglers in a Southern Divisional tournament to compete against the other southern states in a bass fishing tournament. One local angler, which is Matthew Mullins, is a local Douglasville resident. He is the current state champion, 11 to 14, and as you'll see on the video, he's a very good angler. He knows what he's doing, and he's out to compete for his shot to move on to the Nationals. I hope you enjoy the next hour as we spend the time on the water at West Point Lake in LaGrange, Georgia. Enjoy this time, this next hour with City TV and this special program. Welcome back. I'm Roy Mims. I'm City Councilman for Ward 5, Post 1. I have the pleasure of serving you, the public, and our citizens and the mayor on the City Council. I've been here for 6 years. But one of the pleasures I do have is being the youth director for the Georgia Bass Federation Nation. I am lucky to work for a mayor who encourages us to sit on boards outside of the city, and I serve as the youth director for all the youth clubs in the state of Georgia. These kids are directly involved in fishing bass tournaments. It's not your everyday stand on the side of the pond, throw a cork in the water. They compete just like the big boys do on the pro level. We have adult sponsored clubs that will take these kids out to host their events, to qualify for a state event, and once these kids qualify for the state event, they fish for the opportunity to move on to the next level. There's two age groups. There's 11 to 14 years old, and then there's the 15 to 18 years old. This year, our 2009 state champion was Matthew Mullins in the 11 to 14 age category, and then Robert Marsh for the 15 to 18-year-old category. They are both very good fishermen. At their age, they're probably far ahead of me at the same age, but they have some good experience. We have the pleasure today to have joined with me is Mr. Jeff Mullins of Cull Buddy, and Jeff is the father of Matthew Mullins. So Jeff helped us out. He was one of the camera boats that helped us get all the footage that you're about to see and enjoy the time we spent outside with these kids. I also have the Georgia Bass Federation Nation president, Jeff Jones. He's directly involved with our youth program. I am lucky to work for a president that encourages and does everything he can in his power to promote our youth program and give our kids the opportunity to go out and fish on the tournament level. So with that, Jeff, you were there with Matthew from the start to get him qualified, but tell us a little bit how he prepared for this tournament he fished in the Southern Divisional.
Well, Roy, one of the things Matthew did is he's been fishing ever since he was 6 years old out of the boat with me. But one of the big things he did is there's no substitute for spending time on the water. So putting him in the boat, getting him down there beforehand when he could still practice with me before he went out with you before actually the tournament was probably the biggest key. Trying to figure out watercolor, time of year, what the fish are supposed to be doing at that particular time of the year, what baits to throw, practice, what the fish are doing. So that gave him a big edge on being able to go out there with a little bit more confidence, knowing what he wants to do, and then being able to execute on the water.
Yeah, I know we spent a couple of days practicing with the kids. We did a lot of map study, did a lot of background information off the internet, and both Robert and Matthew were well versed in the map. They knew exactly where we were going. The lake is large, and we had to cut it down to a smaller area to fish in a handful of areas so we could cover it and make sure we could find a fish. Jeff Jones, how does the kids prepare? How's it different from adults preparing versus the kids? Is it any different, or is it the same?
I don't think it's any different at all with the youth. Probably the advantage is we probably the adults get to spend more time on the water. I think the youth probably have to rely on us adults and parents to guide them in the right direction sometime. I mean, like Jeff says, time on the water is valuable. And, one of the things I do is first thing is the time of year, you got to decide where the fish are going to be, where they're going to be located, and that kind of stuff. And that's where you have to start. Then you have to pick areas in the lake that where I can find that kind of, find those fish that time of year. So, preparing and tackle. I mean, tackle is a big thing. Preparing your tackle for what the fish are doing that time of year. Is the water going to be clear? Is it going to be muddy? So, a lot of these things, these youth contenders, they depend on us and time on the water and practice and figure these things out. And I mean, I've been doing it for 30 years, and I still get out there and not prepared sometimes. So it's a big deal to get ready for it. And I think these fishermen that we're developing today, with the experience they're getting, we got some awesome fishermen coming up in the future that's going to be competing with Kevin Van Dam and Skeet Reese in the future because of what they see on the water now at 11 years old and 15 years old. So
yeah, I know I have an 11-year-old that looks up to all the pros, and with the college fishing teams coming on board now and the exposure they're seeing, we're seeing a lot more high school teams forming. Not just the local recreational team. So I think in the future, I think we'll see a lot more high school and maybe high school versus high school fishing against each other. But the time the kids spend on the water, each one of these kids they qualify in 6 events just to get to the state tournament. So it's a lot of pressure on them. It's just like us, we get a little tense sometimes. But these kids, they're competitors, and this is very intense. It's a lot harder to fish when you have a clock ticking your ear. You got to weigh in 8 hours, and you got to put 5 fish. It seems simple to 5 fish in the boat, but as you see, some of those adults out there at the weigh-ins and stuff, they had a tough time too.
Yes.
I believe that Matthew caught a pretty good fish in practice, but Jeff, tell us what practice fish do for us.
He got his heart broke. Caught a nice fish up around 6 pounds in practice. Had another one about 4, I do believe, that day he was in the boat with you. Felt really good that day. Came back, said, "Hey, I'm really pumped up." Caught him on a spinnerbait. Had good areas, good keys. Went back out the next day of the tournament though, and those fish had moved. Conditions had changed. Had high pressure move in. And those fish had backed off. They had staged lower in the water, and they just had to figure out, I think they finally ended up figuring it out later, you'll see, on a shaky head down against the bottom. And those fish had just suspended and pulled down. And they weren't up chasing like they were the day y'all went out practicing. So, it can change on a moment's notice. But the kids nowadays, they've got to learn how to adjust their presentations to every one of those changes, to weather and water clarity, wind speeds, and stuff like that every day.
Well, I think that we're lucky, as far as the Georgia Bass Federation, that we're giving these kids the opportunity to be outside. I mean, every day you hear kids spend more time in front of the TV and not outside, whether it's fishing, hunting, hiking, or just playing outside. And the thing about this aspect that we offer, this opportunity we offer these kids, they're outside for 8, 10, 12 hours just for the tournament alone, not necessarily for practice. And it gives fathers and mothers and time to spend with their children. As you'll see in a few minutes, you're going to see the opening ceremonies, the anthem, the prayer, and then you'll get the pleasure of seeing the blast off. The blast off's the best. Everybody's pumped up, ready to go fish. So in just a few minutes, you'll see a highlight package that should be a treat for everyone, and I hope you enjoy it.
Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Hi, I'm Roy Mims, Bass Federation for Georgia Youth Director. I'm about to blast off on day 3 for our tournament here at West Point Lake. I'm here with 2 of our juniors representing the state of Georgia, Matthew Mullins, which is from Douglasville, Georgia, and I have Robert, he's from Fayetteville, Georgia, where hopefully we're going to have some good fish today. We caught some yesterday, but maybe we'll come in with a good bag for both of them today to have a shot to win.
All right, welcome back. I'm Roy Mims, the City Councilman, but I'm also the Youth Director for the Georgia Bass Federation Nation. We had the pleasure of hosting a youth tournament in the Southern Divisional at West Point Lake down in LaGrange, Georgia. And Jeff, tell us who's involved in Southern Divisional and how many anglers there, what states we're looking at that came to attend this event.
Well, the Southern Divisional is a qualifying tournament for the Federation Championship, and we have 6 southern states, which is Florida, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Kentucky. And we also have the South Africa is in the Southern Division, but the adult contenders for the Southern Division go directly to the Federation Championship. So we have the youth contenders coming to the Southern Divisional to compete. So that gives us 16 youth contenders at the Southern Divisional. And like I said, they all qualified within their states at their state classics, and then they all come together. The top 2 competitors from each state, one in each age group, 11 to 14 and 15 to 18, come together to fish the Southern Divisional to see who's going to make it on to the Federation Championship, which is really the Youth Bassmasters Classic.
And what happens if they win the Federation Championship, the national championship for kids?
Yeah. That's the Bassmasters Classic for them. That is that level. So they're the top fishermen for the Bass Federation Nation in the world.
Yeah, and I know, and there's some good prizes. I know they win a scholarship. They win some scholarship money for use down the road, and they also each win a boat, which is,
yes.
How would you like to be 12, 13 years old and own your own boat? That would be pretty nice, I believe. Well, we had the pleasure of hosting as the host state. Georgia had the pleasure of hosting the South African youth. I spent some time with them. I enjoyed the time I spent. It was interesting to talk to them, the way they fish in South Africa. It's very similar to the way we do. You'll see in this highlight package, you'll see them several times. I hope you enjoy it. We still keep in communication with them. 2 great young men, good fishermen, and like I said, you'll see them in the highlight package. We had the pleasure of hosting our City TV film crew out with us. We got them out of the office and let them enjoy the outdoors, and they did a great job, as you'll see in the video package.
The guys just blasted off, and now they're heading out to their first spot. What they're going to try to do is run out to their first location, try to get 5 in the boat as fast as they can, then turn around, head to their next location, try to put that big fish in the boat, call out those little ones, bring in as much weight as they can. Well, the guys here, they're out here fishing off of a long sloping point out here on the main river right outside of Highland Marina. Trying to see if they can get a limit real quick, maybe find some spotted bass. These fish should be migrating up out of this deeper drop out here, coming up out of the deep water, moving up onto these points, trying to find them spawning flats and stuff like that. Got to do it all themselves. Roy cannot help do anything. The object is for the 2 of them to fish as a team. In other words, they're the 2 Georgia State team winners. They are the best youth kids in bass fishing for the whole state of Georgia right now. And they have to operate as a team because they're not only competing against each of their age group and brackets, but they're also competing together as a combined weight to help the Georgia State team, which is the adults that are out fishing, because their weight is going to be combined with the Georgia State team weight. All right, they finished fishing this point right out here. They only caught one short. They've just took off. They're going to head now probably up the river. We'll try to keep up with them and see where they're going. The one short's not going to help them. So the first spot didn't pan out. That doesn't mean you give up. That means you just kick in there, try a little harder, concentrate, think about what you're doing, and keep on keeping on. They got until 3:45. They haven't lost any time. It's still good in the morning. The sun's not up on the water yet, so they still got plenty of time to put those fish in the boat. Get that 5.
All right, welcome back. We still have Jeff Mullins and Jeff Jones here joining us. Hope you've been enjoying your the video work on West Point Lake and during our tournament. You've seen a lot of the activities and a lot of the stresses that our youth anglers go through during the tournament fishermen. And I know for me, it's mindset's the whole key. Confidence that you can catch a fish, or confidence you can do anything in life, is big. I think if you have confidence in what you're doing, I think it goes a long way. It helps keep your emotions down, keeps the stress level down. And I know that when I prepare myself or prepare my son, my 11-year-old, for fishing these tournaments, I know we talk a lot about the mindset, a lot about the confidence that, you know, be patient and it's going to come to you and you know what you're doing. And Jeff, do you have the same kind of conversation with Matthew when you're preparing him for the tournament, or what do you think? How does he prepare for it?
Oh, absolutely. The biggest thing is when you're having a tough day like you're having today out there on the water, the biggest thing is don't let it get in your head. You might be catching a lot of short fish. You stick to what you know. If you got confidence in what you're doing, stick with it. Your game plan this morning, spinnerbaits didn't work out. They're having to change up, go to something different. But don't let it get in your head. Keep with your game plan, keep with your confidence baits, keep watching what's going on, you know, try to develop a strategy, figure out what's going on out there. And I tell him all the time, don't stress it. You're having fun. You've made it to this level, which is a big honor to be competing at this level. You've made it here. Go out there, just have fun, relax, try to catch the fish, because the biggest problem you can face out there, like he knows, is if you get stressed out and you're worried and frustrated, when you finally get that bite, then you're going to be like, oh, I can't lose this one. You're going to really upset the hook. You're going to make a mistake because you're too impatient trying to get that first fish in the boat. So.
Well, I know you're right. It did get tough. Once that sun got high, you'll see it's bright, sunny skies out there. And it does get tougher as the day goes on. And in your back of your mind, you know that 3 o'clock is coming quick, and I only have one fish in the boat. I think at this time during midday, neither one of our anglers, Robert, the older fisherman, or Matthew, neither one of them had a keeper in the boat. They've had a few close, short fish, but they haven't had a keeper, so it's getting a little tense. And I know, Jeff, even though you're the Federation president, at this time, you're doing the same thing, because you're in the back of someone's boat, you're fishing for a shot to move on yourself. So at midday, where were you at?
Well, I got lucky. I ended up going in the tournament because as an alternate, one of our members dropped out. So I was actually fishing on that day. So I wasn't, I was on the water out there, and I drew out a guy that was on fish. So he and I both had a limited fish early. I mean, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. So really, I was there just to help our team out, the adult team, and well, in the youth contenders too, because their weight counted in the total weight for the tournament. So, I was happy with my limit. So really, my stress was off because I had 5 fish in the boat, so I went to a little bit bigger bait and just tried to catch a bigger fish. And, caught some fish up there in the day. So I felt like my plan stayed together, but I really didn't have a lot of pressure on me because I was just there as an alternate. And, these kids were fishing for a shot to move on and to the championship. So it was tough out there. 12 o'clock, and they hadn't had a lot of success in the morning on what they've been doing in practice. So I know I've been there though, and had those same situations where at 12 o'clock I didn't have any fish, and just don't panic. And these younger contenders, getting them not to do that, because I struggle with it myself. So doing it sometimes, getting in a hurry, speeding up instead of slowing down sometimes.
Well, I know for me, being in the boat as the boat captain, in this tournament, there was no mentoring, there was no instruction. I wasn't allowed to say anything to these anglers. I couldn't suggest anything, point them in a direction, point anything on the map. I'm basically sitting on my hands, so it's pretty stressful. Of course, a lot of people would say a day on the water is not very stressful versus a day in the office.
No.
But you know, these kids kept their heads. I didn't think they panicked, and you know, and that we were able to get at least one keeper in the boat. Matthew continued to catch fish. I think, as you see in the highlight package, they go to a smaller bank. They get on the bank. They actually shared it with with another boat that caught some good fish, and I think you'll see that in the package. But and you know, the biggest thing I can suggest to the youth is stay calm, pay attention to your surroundings, and in a tournament this size, you're always going to be fishing near someone. Mm-hmm. So pay attention to what they're doing, how they're fishing, what they're fishing with. Now, I couldn't tell them what to fish with, but that doesn't mean they couldn't see what that other guy was throwing next to them. And I think if you watch in the video, you'll kind of see the light bulb go off at some point when they get near this other boat and he catches a good fish. So with that, if you'll continue to enjoy these the video and the time on the water, it was a beautiful day. You'll see the bright sunny skies. You'll see the pretty boats. We had a great time. We had a great time with the youth, and we just enjoyed giving them an opportunity to be outside. So enjoy this, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, my name's John Stewart, Bass Federation Nation Tournament Director. We're here in beautiful LaGrange, Georgia, for the 2010 Bass Federation Nation Southern Division Championship. The winning prize for this event, top prize, is a brand new Skeeter ZX 190 with a VZ 150 on it, Humminbird Electronics, Minn Kota trolling motor, valued at $41,000. Have some cash and prizes, $12,000 for second, $6,000 for third, $5,000 for fourth, $500 big bass each day.
We have adult anglers as well as junior Bassmaster anglers out there competing today. They're all fishing for a shot to go on to the Junior Bassmaster World Championship, where they'll fish for prizes and academic college scholarship awards, boats from sponsors. A tremendous opportunity for these kids to become really good contributors to the Federation Nation, to the organization.
They are part of the team. Their weight counts towards the opportunity to win that boat for the team. So it's very important that those juniors catch fish, and they're all very excited to be here.
We have two young men that are out there fishing from South Africa today, as well as some young men from Douglasville, Georgia. We have Robert Marsh and Michael Mullins. And these young men, Robert's been here before, so this is really nothing new to him. And, you know, he's a great competitor. I think all of the parents who have children here, they have a lot of reason to be proud. These young men and women are justifiably leaders within their organization and within the Junior Bassmaster program.
They did good. They caught a bunch of fish. Unfortunately, they caught a bunch of short fish. They had to have a 14-inch limit on spots and largemouth. And today they caught a bunch of 13.5-inch fish, and they can't weigh those. So my oldest kid, Robert, has one keeper, so we're going to weigh him in and see what happens. Biggest thing my kids, in my opinion, were doing wrong, unfortunately, I couldn't tell them because we can't prompt them, we can't give them an unfair advantage, was when they were fishing off the rocks and stuff, they would reel it up before they got back to the boat. So they left about half the water unfished. So some of that deeper water, which possibly could help fish, they left it, didn't fish it, in my opinion, didn't fish it as well as I thought they should have. But that's a lesson learned. They'll learn it as they get older. And when it's not working up shallow, they'll fish a little deeper. So, but they did well. They did well today. So. Welcome back. I hope you've enjoyed this time at West Point Lake in LaGrange, Georgia. We still have with us Jeff Mullins and Jeff Jones. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today of how we get involved, how we get your children involved. The Federation's goal is to give these kids the opportunity to fish, to bass fish in a tournament style format. And we encourage all the kids to join us, boys or girls, ages 11 to 18. We have two age groups, but 11 to 18, they all can compete. Before they get out of high school and compete on the adult level, it's sort of a training ground for when they get to the adult clubs. Our kids are spending too much time indoors, and this is an opportunity to keep them out, get them outside, not only on the Saturday during the tournaments or even during this tournament, but just the preparation, the practice time in the yard, the practice time at the local pond or local park that they're fishing in. And Jeff, tell us a little bit about our website, where they can go, where they can find out information, how they can get a hold of you or me as the youth director, how they can get in touch with us and get their kids involved in this kind of program.
Well, the website is www.gabassfn.com. And we have a new website that's up and running. It's got a lot of information there, and it's broken down into clubs and the youth organization. So you can go there and click on the youth, and it brings up all the documents, the applications and everything, and our email addresses is on there. Your youth director email address is on there, mine's on there. So it's real easy. Go there, print off the documents, and email them to us, and we'll get you signed up. And we also have clubs, youth clubs, and a Georgia Bass Federation youth club. So we want to grow. The Georgia Bass Federation wants to grow our youth program, and so we want to grow clubs, and the community can get involved in that. We want parents, fishermen that wants to form a youth club to do so, and when we'll all help them do that right there and grow these clubs. I mean, the more youth we can get involved in this right here. I mean, like you said before, there's a lot of them spend a lot of time inside. There's a lot of outdoor activities. I grew up outside when I was growing up, and a lot of these kids don't have that opportunity to get out there and fish and be out there, on the water and fishing. And we want to get back focused to some of that. And if the parents can't get them out there, then we have fishermen and clubs that can help get these youth contenders out there on the water.
Yeah, Jeff, tell us a little bit how you got involved and how your son got involved. How did you hear about the club, and what you suggest to a parent that wants to get their son or daughter involved in this?
Well, absolutely. Check out your local website. Try to get involved with other tournaments. Matthew was fishing tournaments with me, and it was recommended by another angler that, hey, he's pretty good. You need to get him into his own tournament trail. And that's when we looked on the website, and we got in touch with you and met you and met Jeff here and at other tournaments and got him involved that way. So, but it's a great thing to get the kids involved. And like you said, get them outdoors. If you stay in the house, you're not doing yourself any good. You need to get out there and do like we grew up doing, and get out there and get in a boat and go fishing.
Well, Jeff, I know you and I both are Douglasville residents, so let's give Matthew's school a little plug, and if you'll plug Matthew's school, so at least we get his school on camera, on film, where he goes to school. So where does Matthew go? Tell us where Matthew goes to school at.
Austin Middle School.
Austin Middle School. So. But Matthew's a local Douglasville resident. We had the pleasure of one of our locals being the state champion, the current state champion in fishing in this tournament. And Jeff, what if a group or an organization, I know we're not pros, but what if a group or organization just wants us to come out and talk about, does the Federation offer that? Will you show up for the Boys and Girls Club or any club and give a little pep talk, give a little talk about what we do, or and show them what we do, show them your boat, show them your sponsors. Is that something that the Federation can offer?
Yeah, we do, and all you have to do is contact us, and you can also go to the Bass website, bassmaster.com, and you can find our information on there also. Your information is the youth director is on there, mine is on there as the president, and they can contact us through Bass or our website, Georgia Bass Federation Nation website, and just let us know you need us. I mean, we'll come. We like love to go to schools, get there in front of the youth, and get these kids interested in fishing. And we would like to start some more. We have a couple of high schools starting some youth programs, and I think that's a great opportunity. But I tell you, all this hinges on some of the parents being involved too. So, and I think it's a great opportunity for the youth and the parents to get involved in this. And if you don't have a boat, don't matter. We work hard to supply boats for our youth events.
Yeah, I know we just got off the water this past weekend at Bartlett's Ferry, and we had many. We had our club, West Georgia Bass Hunters, hosted them, and we had 9 boats there hosting the club. I know Jeff was with us, but we couldn't do it without the sponsors. We do have a lot of sponsors, a lot of local Georgia sponsors.
Yes.
Jeff's company is one of our sponsors, but with Coal Buddy. But without the adults, without your parents, your mom or dads bringing you out there, that's the only way we can get you out there and get you involved in tournament fishing. But like I said, if you want us to come to your group or organization just to give a little talk and tell us about what we do, the Federation's more than happy to oblige that. So if you'll continue to enjoy our video, I believe we're going to the weigh-in. The weigh-in is where you put all the apples on the table and see how you measured up against your fellow competitors. And you'll see that Matthew and Robert, even though they didn't have a great day and they didn't get their limit, they stand up and take it and tell about what they did. And I think overall you'll see that they did enjoy their time on the water.
We have 14 grown-up fishermen, and we have 2 junior fishermen out there fishing today, so we'll have a total of 16 people to weigh in.
We've got 3 guys out of our club that's out on the water, which we've got 14 guys out there fishing. We've got 2 juniors out there, one's out of our club. We're kind of on the bottom right now, but hopefully the day's going to change when they come in.
Our guys are in real good spirits, had good team camaraderie. They've been talking to the youth, passing information between them. This has turned out to be a real good team, and I'm really proud of this group that we've got out here this week.
We've been cheering Matthew along since he was 6. He's been tournament fishing that long. So we're excited for him as the Georgia State winner.
We're sitting here waiting for Matthew to come in. They're going to be weighing in soon, and I'm very excited. He had a great day yesterday pre-fishing, so I'm excited to see what kind of bag he's got today.
(15 to 18-year-old age group), 1 bass, 2 pounds 11 ounces, 211. Kind of hard to beat that 13-pound, follow that 13-pound bag, isn't it?
Hi, I'm Matthew Mullins.
I'm Robert Marsh.
Today we just got finished finishing the Southern Divisional Regional Tournament. We had a great day on the water, but we didn't, bring in what we hoped that we would.
We brought in about 2 dozen small fish, and I only brought in 1 sizable fish. Almost 3 pounds, but we learned a lot.
We had a great practice day, but the fish just weren't there the first day. I landed a pretty decent fish, about 6.5 pounds, and just today we just went there, had no fish, had no luck, so we had to try something totally different that we hadn't done before. So, we were lucky just to catch fish, actually, and he was lucky just to get a keeper.
I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this special edition of City TV and our time out on the water. I want to thank Jeff Mullins with ColdBuddy.com. I want to thank him for helping us. I want to thank him for his support. I also want to thank Jeff Jones, for Georgia Bass Federation Nation President, for all his support, all his help, and continue to promote our youth program. And Jeff, either one of you have any last comments you want to share with us before we go?
Oh, I enjoyed, being involved in putting this program together. I think it's great. It gets the information out there to the adults and lets them know there's some opportunities out there. If they can help us get their kids out, we'll get them fishing. And
Well, I'd just like to say I appreciate, both of you for helping to get these kids out on the water. It makes a big difference in kids' lives to get them outdoors, out on these boats to where they can practice and fish on a competitive level, and get the butterflies out and be able to make it to that next stage. It gives them some place to look forward to going and something to do besides sitting inside and playing video games. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And it's a pleasure. I know that every adult angler that's been out there, that's helped us out, that's been in the boat, they always come back with a great story and always tell me they're going to do it again. I want to thank you again for being our host, our camera boat, and running our camera crew around. I know they had a little bit of sunburn, but I know they enjoyed their day out of the office, and I hope we can do it again soon. Again, I hope everyone enjoyed this program. It's a little different program than what you're normally seeing, and I hope we can do it something in the future. Anything that we can do to make these kids excited and want to get out and want to take the opportunity to stay outside the outdoors and just enjoy the time of the water. Because there is studies that say a kid who spends time outdoors is a better steward of our environment, a better citizen in our community. So again, I want to thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed the program, and we'll see you soon.